Hello, friend. Today we're going to take a quick glance at the sacral center, the energy resource. This is a motor. And I'm a little biased because this is also my inner authority, so I kind of have a love affair with it. So the sacral center, it's the power of fertility. So it really corresponds with the ovaries and testes. It's the life force energy of the entire planet because it's a generative energy, and it's here to replicate and nurture and care for our young. So it can work in two ways: dualistic system, that's what human design is. It can work in a generative way, or it can work in a degenerative way. So depending on where you're at in your experiment, and if you're stepped into the strategy and authority, what you'll notice is that there's more of a generative energy taking place here when this is defined. If you haven't stepped into your strategy and authority and still making decisions with the mind, it's a very degenerative process. It can be quite destructive. So when this is defined in your body graph, the frequency you carry in your auric field is receptive. So it's open and enveloping, okay? Because when this is defined, it actually creates either a generator, a manifesting generator, or in the business world, what we call classic builder or an express builder. It's noisy. If you're watching any of these videos or listening to any of these, what you're gonna notice is there'll be a pause sometimes, and my sacrals, it's generating the next verbal expression, because actually for me the sacral center is directly connected to my throat, and it's connected in an unconscious way. So I can't figure anything out in my head, and if I try to, it usually gets all balled up. So it's really just the communication is taking place right from the body up to my throat, and it grunts, it's noisy, and it's in the moment. So what the sacral center is all about is, it's about respondability and available work energy. So what does it have available energy for? So because this creates actually a type, and it actually creates one of our strategies, which is to respond, the sacral needs to have, needs to be in a place where it can just respond. There's no initiation from the not-self mind. It's just in a place of response. And your body's doing this. If this is defined in your body graph, your body is doing this all the time. And if you listen to my video on generators, manifesting generators, my husband calls me a rubberneck, because my head is always shaking or nodding in agreement, shaking in disagreement, because the body is constantly responding all the time to what is being brought to it. So that response is noisy, and the response is so directly connected to direct questions. Direct questions are super important. So this center is an enormous power center for us on this plane. So, 70% of the population have this defined because, and I'm going to say we, because I'm a manifesting generator, we are here to use our energy to actually physically build this Maya. We're here to do that. And the difference between generative and degenerative is when you're making decisions correctly through strategy and authority or not. This powerful sacral center to reproduce and reproduce and produce on this physical plane can happen in two ways: through frustration, when the not self mind is trying to make decisions and you're completely frustrated. How did I get here? Why am I using this energy for this? I've been there. I totally get it. I know that. Or full satisfaction, where it's like, yes, I'm expending my energy. You know, it's important for generators and manifesting generators to use this powerful resource. And when we can do that through satisfaction, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Like, imagine that frequency permeating this planet, satisfaction, instead of frustration. Imagine that. Just for a minute, close your eyes, and let's take us to that point of focus, and that be satisfaction. Wow. Wow. And the beautiful piece of this is, in my experience, when I enter in and I'm doing something through satisfaction, let me tell you, I can work. There's probably, we own a cattle ranch, and work is, ingrained in what we're doing here. And when I'm doing that in satisfaction, like, I can work all day and it feels so good. Feels so good. And it feels so satisfying. And my body, can become exhausted, which is perfectly excellent, because what I know is that I've expended my energy for the day. I can go to bed, I can, let myself wind down a little bit, and as a manifesting generator, and then I can just let that powerful center regenerate so that I can then be generative the next day. So when it's defined, the important piece here is that you be asked. You have a powerful resource if this is defined in your body graph. People need to ask you for that energy and not assume that you're just going to give it to them. So direct questions to the sacral is so critical, because then it can respond. I have energy for this. I don't have energy for this. And the critical piece is never initiate. Never initiate. Satisfaction comes when you live from response. So wait to respond. Period. Just wait. You're not missing out on anything. Facebook is going to tell you that you are. Facebook is going to tell you that you're totally missing out. You're not. You're not. Guaranteed, if we were to take everybody on our friends list and actually put them in a room and gauge their level of satisfaction versus frustration, guaranteed the frustration level is going to be tipping the scales. So don't let an illusionary world dictate to your mind how you're going to use your energy. Undefined. So if it's undefined, you're either a projector, a reflector, or a manifester. And the sacral center is going to be highly, highly, highly conditioned, because 70% of the people on this planet have it defined. So that buzz that happens inside that sacral center, that real vortex of energy, and I have a really good graphic of that, and I didn't add it in here, but there's like this vortex of generative energy that's balled up in the sacral center. And what happens is that when it's undefined, the projectors, reflectors, and manifestors, they're basically living off of borrowed energy, and they're constantly pushing through. The term, "Oh, I just caught my second wind," guaranteed that was coined by a projector, a reflector, or a manifester. Probably a a projector. Living off that second wind energy, you know, let's go grab a cup of coffee, let's push through, let's keep going. And they are freaking exhausted. You know, and the importance here, this is a sexual center. It's about reproduction. It's sexual. It's the ovaries, it's the testes, and actually it's the bone marrow as well. Healthy sex and safe boundaries are so important to teach our young people that have this undefined. You know, learn when enough is enough. And just because the sexual energy permeates this planet doesn't mean that you need to engage in it. You know, I in my experience and people sharing with me when they are projectors, reflectors, and manifestors, like they can be addicted to sex, like beyond anything. Because this sacral energy is permeating 70%. There's not very many places you're going to go that this center isn't defined. So, you know, the not self says, let's keep working. Oh, life is juicy. Don't say no. Jump in, hurry, go. And, you know, oh, let's have another cup of coffee, a cup of coffee. So it's important to comprehend how easily the conditioning field can take over. And, you know, like I say, Ra was in this for 30 years. All of my teachers have been in this for, you know, 25 plus years. Probably around 25, because Ra started teaching this, I think, in 1992. And the not self never goes away. It's not gonna. So it's understanding and learning the wisdom that we can gain from it and not making decisions through it. That's the crucial piece. So if any of these videos, if this video or anything that you've heard or seen, you know, piques your interest or is an inspiration to move forward, if there's a response there, if you feel invited, if something's initiating you, and you know, you're resonating with my frequency, contact me. I would love to walk you through your design and create an individualized coaching package for you. You know, depending on, are you an entrepreneur? Do you own a business? Are you a career person? Do you want this just for, you know, your own healthy spiritual path? You know, those kind of things. So, thank you very much for your time, and we will chat again. Thank you.